everybody. I'm Brad Musburger, and welcome to our NCAA championship game. So much can be said about North Carolina. They came into this tournament seeded number 1. Georgetown probably was unknown to everyone except the aficionados. They were seeded 4th, but they have been on a rampage throughout the tournament. And when they dismantled Oregon State to win the West Regional, everybody knew that the Hoyas were very much for real. Now, you know, of course, that Dean Smith is trying to win a national championship at North Carolina for the first time. He has come into the title game 3 previous times and lost. To UCLA, to Marquette, and a year ago to Indiana. But this is the first time that Dean Smith has ever been favored in a title game by the narrowest of margins. He is matched against John Thompson, a man whom he admires and respects so greatly. 2 high-class gentlemen who tonight will direct the fortunes of Georgetown and North Carolina. And Gary Bender and Billy Packer, come on in here now and tell us about the talent that these 2 coaches will have at their disposal tonight.
Brent, great talent, and that's the reason North Carolina's won 15 in a row, Georgetown 10. Let's take a look at some of the matchups that will unfold today. First at the guard position, Sleepy Floyd for Georgetown and Jimmy Black for North Carolina. Floyd, the all-time scorer at Georgetown.
Well, Floyd's the guy that likes to put it up both on the outside as well as penetrate. He's got the maturity of the senior as well as Jimmy Black. He's a guy that's been around a long time, very unsung player, both offensively and defensively. His key tonight is to figure out a way to beat Sleepy Floyd in the Georgetown defense to get in a half-court offense for North Carolina. Great backcourt matchup.
Okay, as far as the forward spots are concerned, James Worthy, the consensus All-American for the Tar Heels. But what a fine defensive player Eric Smith is.
Well, here's the unsung hero right here. He has been asked to guard guys like Mark Aguirre and Albert King. He has done it very well. And Eric Smith, you've got one of the fine defensive players in America. And he's going to have to be all of that because right here is the nation's #1 power forward, James Worthy. He loves to take the ball inside, so Smith is going to have a hard time handling it.
Billy, what a matchup at center. Pat Ewing, the 7-footer against Sam Perkins. Perkins was just brilliant in the first game. Ewing, what an intimidating presence he is.
Well, over the past 3 weeks, Pat Ewing has made a name for himself that already was up there among the best centers in the nation. He's a dominating player defensively. The one thing that Perkins may be able to do is to keep him honest. Sam Perkins is a great offensive player and a good defensive player himself. And if he can occupy the great Pat Ewing defense, it really helps Carolina's situation.
Gordy to Block. The time, 18. Shot.
This is ESPN Classic.
Look under Sprite caps and you could win free Sprite or a $25,000 paycheck.
2 words, kid. Savings account. Nah, let Kobe take you traveling. You know about traveling. You do it all over the court. Hey, steady, long-term growth.
I don't know what's weaker, your advice or your game?
We? Yeah, we. Hey, don't make me come over there.
Excuse me?
You want me to say it again?
I kind of have to get home.
Anybody here talking to you?
No.
I didn't think so.
The Sprite salary cap game.
You heard me. I don't think I did.
What you do with the money is your choice.
I think you did.
Did we rent with Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Did we rent with Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Did we rent with Hertz?
Not exactly.
Can't we skip the rental counter like it hurts?
Can't we skip the rental counter?
No, not exactly. No.
Isn't our car under a canopy like it hurts?
Isn't our car under a canopy?
Isn't our car not exactly? In rent-a-car, there's Hertz and there's not exactly. We can't repeat that too often. If you were the client, would you hire us?
Would you hire us?
If you were the client, would you?
Exactly.
My job is to compare products. And it's not often that I'm surprised. So when Head & Shoulders went up against the leading prescription brand, I expected the prescription to be better, but it isn't. A study proves Head & Shoulders is effective against dandruff. I found out there's a microscopic fungus associated with dandruff, and Head & Shoulders helps kill it. Helps stop flakes before they even start. Not even the expensive prescription works better. You may never see flakes again. I don't.
I want to like Rebecca, I really do, but she thinks Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth.
And Rick thinks it's because of the choice hops.
And even if we could get past that, we'd still argue over whose work sells the most sports magazines.
Yeah, in-depth analysis of the nickel defense or fishnet bikinis. You decide.
Guys buy sports magazines for great sports writing. People like Miller Lite for the hops.
Oh, great. So I guess we could be looking for that Rick Riley sports writing calendar any day now.
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
The NCAA thanks its corporate partners who dedicate financial resources, talent, and expertise to help emphasize the vital role intercollegiate athletics plays in society and in the overall development of student athletes. The support of higher education by these outstanding corporate citizens also provides funding for NCAA youth programs and NCAA championships. The NCAA and its corporate partners, together building a better experience for our student athletes.
This is ESPN Classic.
Showtime in the Dome, and let's go to Frank Fowler now to meet the starting lineups.
The Georgetown Hoyas and the North Carolina Tar Heels. For Georgetown, at a forward, number 32, a 6'5", 185-pound senior from Potomac, Maryland, Eric Smith. For North Carolina at a forward, number 44, a 6'8", 210-pound sophomore from East Meadow, New York, Matt Doherty. For Georgetown at a forward, number 40, a 6'7", 180-pound senior from Washington, D.C., Mike Hancock. For North Carolina at a forward, number 52, a 6'9", 219-pound junior from Gastonia, North Carolina, James Worthy. For Georgetown at center, number 33, a 7-foot, 220-pound freshman from Cambridge, Massachusetts, Pat Ewing. For North Carolina at center, number 41, a 6'9", 224-pound sophomore from Macon, New York, Sam Perkins. For Georgetown at a guard, number 20, a 6'5", 190-pound sophomore from the Bronx, New York, Fred Brown. For North Carolina at a guard, number 23, a 6'5", 189-pound freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, Michael Jordan. For Georgetown at a guard, number 21, a 6'3", 170-pound senior from Gastonia, North Carolina, Eric Floyd. And for North Carolina at a guard, number 21, a 6'3", 162-pound senior from the Bronx, New York, Jimmy Black. The head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas is John Thompson. The head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels is Dean Smith.
40 minutes of basketball to determine the national champion. The officials, John DeBrow from the Big Eight, Bobby Dibler of the Western Athletic Conference, and Hank Nichols of the Metro. As Sam Perkins will be going up at center circle against Pat Ewing, and the 1982 NCAA championship is underway. Hancock off to Eric Smith. Back out to Hancock. This is Fred Brown, who played so well in that win over Louisville. Sleepy Floyd, over 2,000 points in his career at Georgetown. The all-time leading scorer has to get it back out to Brown. And North Carolina playing some tough man-to-man defense into Ewing.
Straight man-to-man. Perkins letting Ewing handle it, shooting that fadeaway jumper. Now here comes the full court pressure. It's Perkins back there to help the guards. Ball's gone.
Fred Brown almost came up with a steal, but Ewing, that's got to give that young freshman some confidence to hit that first shot. He had 8 points in the first game and 10 rebounds. Matt Doherty, rebound Ewing, and Ewing's intimidating presence has already been established in this game.
You can see right there, Georgetown going to give Doherty the shot early in the game to show that he can make it.
Georgetown came into this tourney shooting over 63% for the field. Floyd tries to follow his own shot. Jimmy Black saves it in. Here comes Black. He's an extension of the coach on the floor. Up to Doherty, who has not been shooting as well in the Final Four. Worthy, that was Brown who reached in and took it away from him.
Brown had a great game here Saturday. He has terrific hands as far as quickness goes.
Brown dumps it off to Hancock. And a rebound from Doherty. Jimmy Black hit the deck underneath the basket. No whistle on the play, and here comes Black. Black has been shooting very well in this tournament. Extremely well. 83% to be exact, and that'll be goaltending. I tell you, Ewing is up around that cylinder.
Well, he is, so that was not a wise play on his part. And James Worthy will not be intimidated with that type of goaltend because the ball was obviously on the way down. Pat Ewing was right under the basket.
Boy, does that shot show you how high up in the air he got it, 7 foot. The freshman from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Beautiful pass from Floyd into Eric Smith.
Eric Floyd, much underrated playmaker. Here's the full court pressure.
Eric Smith, he can play the defense. He was second in assists on the team, and what an assist that was. Doherty with pressure from Smith. Look at Smith. He is really tough defensively. Brings it out to Jordan.
Georgetown in the zone. Now Hancock much more aware of where Worthy is. Now they man-to-man. Man-to-man defense. Perkins, and there's Ewing having to go out on Perkins.
Georgetown the 4-2 lead. Black tries to tie it up. Ewing with yet another rebound. Out to Eric Smith. Smith to Hancock. He traveled to the ball. Are you surprised, Billy, that Georgetown is in a man this early?
Well, they're showing some different looks. There's John Thompson. They're still in the 2-2-1 with a little diamond full court pressure, but it hadn't bothered North Carolina yet.
Both these teams look great boys. John Thompson has worked with his young club all year to come up with that, and Ewing with another steal. That's 2 turnovers against North Carolina, and Ewing is playing remarkably well.
Both teams are very tight.
Here's Ewing again, and he has 4 points. He was not getting that shot against Louisville on Saturday. Already he's moved in and picked up 4 points. 6-2 Georgetown.
Now with Ewing back, there's a 2-on-1. Let's see if North Carolina tries to take it to him.
Already shooting 43% of the tournament, brings it out to Perkins, who had 25 points and 10 rebounds in that win against Houston. Broken up, saved by Perkins, almost stolen that time by Fred Brown. Here's James Worthy, and that'll be another goaltending.
Patrick Ewing is standing right under the basket. John Thompson's trying to work the officials a little bit here, but you can't block those kind of shots against a Worthy or Perkins when you're standing right under the basket, because their ball's going to come down quickly, and there you see it.
Boy, is he getting up there, though. Worthy is challenging him thus far. Georgetown with a 2-point lead, 6-4, 16:45 to go in the first half. Ed Spriggs is checked in. He has a basketball. Rebound, Jordan tries to get it. It's off of Eric Smith.
Ed Spriggs had an excellent game on Saturday. He comes in, gives them the twin pillars in there with Pat Ewing.
He had 5 points and 7 rebounds in that win that they had Saturday. He is 26 years old, a co-captain of Georgetown. Here is Black. What a matchup this is going to be. Floyd and Black all evening long. Perkins a long ways out for the pivot. Rebound cleared by Eric Smith. Smith out of Potomac, Maryland. Here is Sleepy Floyd. He lost it. It'll be North Carolina's ball.
Pretty good job by Jimmy Black. Right now, both teams have not settled down into what they would like to do. You can see the nervous energy coming out here.
From above, high above here in the Superdome, you see the action. Jimmy Black, he controlled that well.
Well, the reason he wasn't backcourt, the ball hadn't come over yet.
But how good his body control was. That ball was tipped out of bounds by Georgetown. North Carolina will reset it at the 16:05 mark.
New rule in college basketball for this year. Hadn't come into play that much, but both feet and the ball must be over half court in order for you to be in a backcourt situation.
Perkins brings it back out to Jimmy Black. Black out of the Bronx in New York.
Here's the zone. Now you can see it right there. Ewing in the middle. It's a big zone back line, a 2-1-2.
Or they pack it in, and with Ewing in there a lot of times is tough. Spriggs right now doing the job for him. Rebound followed by Jordan. He can't get it to drop.
Well, it wasn't blocked by Ewing, but Ewing intimidated and made him put it up there with the left hand.
Brown out of control. He walked to the ball.
Gary, both teams are very, very tight. John Thompson really hot with the official, but it was a good call. Brown trying to make his reverse.
John just a moment ago was windmilling his arms, not happy about the third turnover. His team is already committed in this game at the 15:34 mark. Anthony Jones will now check in. A freshman out of Washington, D.C. Brown, who turned the ball over, will check out. Jones had 4 points and 3 rebounds in that win against Louisville.
When Spriggs comes into the game, it really makes this press tough because he is so big. You have a hard time throwing the ball over, and you still have Ewing at the end. There's a lob.
North Carolina's missed 3 straight from the field. They're 2 of 7. They shot 59% in their win, but they are the only team thus far in this Final Four to shoot better here in the Superdome since the tournament play began.
Great help by Eric Smith defensively.
This is what they're known for, Billy. They just don't let you get that ball inside.
North Carolina not losing their presence right now, but Georgetown playing great defense.
Floyd reaching in, tough shot by Worthy, tipped off almost and in by Spriggs, and that'll go off of Georgetown. Spriggs almost tipped it in.
And the reason that was not a goaltend is because the ball had no chance to go in.
We're going to have a timeout. 14:52 to go in this championship game from the Superdome. A 2-point lead for Georgetown.
This is ESPN Classic.
Hertz Freedom Rates, only $25.99 a day in California and Florida, with the freedom to pick up and drop off anytime. Just keep it over a Saturday night. Hertz will provide the great rates.
Can we go back to the room now?
The rest is up to you. Hertz Freedom Rates, only $25.99 a day in California and Florida, with the freedom to pick up and drop off anytime. Just keep it over a Saturday night. Hertz will provide the great rates. The rest is up to you.
Lee and I are different in every way.
In every way.
Lee likes blue darts. I like red darts. Lee likes cans. I like bottles. Lee thinks Miller Lite tastes great because of the choice hops. Me, I like it because it's smooth. Hey, Lee, you seen my last dart?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Lee. Bottles.
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
ESPN Classic presents This Day in Classic Sports, March 7th, 1974. All that jazz after this.
Black toes sniff out a white plate. The nation hot glued to a half second. Old dusty legends step back. A superstar comes home, and a hat made of American cotton follows behind. We see it.
Sports Center of the Decade, Tuesday at 8:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
March 7th, 1974. A 9-member New Orleans business group plays up to the tune of $6.5 million, and the New Orleans Jazz are on their way to becoming the NBA's 18th team. An early trade will bring star guard Pistol Pete Maravich back home to Louisiana. Another classic day on ESPN Classic.
Are you old school? Old school like Earl the Pearl, shaking and baking.
Mark Fidrich, Bobby Orr.
Joe Louis, old school.
Old school is Paul Bear Bryant.
Like Pistol Pete.
Illy Funkster socks.
Black socks.
Shorts.
Definitely old school. Old school like me. Julius Irving.
Dr. J.
Running down like in the 70s with a big afro.
Got it going on.
I can play basketball with anybody.
Now that's old school.
This is the way Georgetown destroyed the West. Their margin of victory of 16 points over Wyoming, Fresno State, and Oregon State, and then defeating Louisville here on Saturday. On the other hand, North Carolina coming out of the East region. They were the top seed there. Tough win over James Madison, Alabama, Villanova, and defeating Houston. Thus far, Billy, in 5 minutes of play, surprisingly, there's been no fouls in this ballgame.
People haven't really taken the ball at anybody. Ewing's doing a good job occupying all that space as usual in the middle.
Buzz Peterson, number 22, a freshman, is checked in. There he is with a basketball. Here is Doherty.
And there's that zone, extremely active. Spriggs coming out to play 25 feet away from the ball. They don't give you any easy shots.
And Ewing will jump out there, too. That is really versatility to have your two men that quick, that agile, to jump out at you. North Carolina showing good patience, trying to tie this ball game up. Nice pass to Perkins, and he is hammered. That'll be a foul on Pat Ewing. High above him that time. Perkins challenged him.
Perkins did challenge him, but he was a little hesitant to take it in for the dunk. It's a beautiful dish off here by Worthy. When he gets Ewing up there to be occupied, Perkins goes right in, gets hit with the body.
Perkins will go to the line. A brilliant game that he had in Saturday's action. 25 points, 10 rebounds. He has been shooting from the free throw line 80% from the tournament play. Look at that. That's the way this whole North Carolina team has been, Billy. They're shooting above their regular season stat.
Well, they're playing very tight right now, and I'm sure Dean Smith recognizes that. You know, Gary, I talked to an awful lot of basketball people out here over the weekend after the game Saturday, and most of them felt, going way back to Hank Ibe and all the rest, but that game with Louisville might have been the most tenacious defense by two teams ever seen in Final Four action.
It was not artistic, but it was intense. Anthony Jones, oh, he loves to shoot the ball from there. And Georgetown, after those missed free throws, has jumped to an 8-4 lead. Doherty gets it into Jimmy Black. Nice pass, baseline, Jordan, and we're going to have goaltending again. That's 3 goaltending calls on Pat Ewing.
That's a very significant call right there. What are they going to do with Ewing when he goes up there to try to swat these shots away? Now, he has to be a little bit more careful, because if they're going to call it tight, looking like goaltending most of the time, which they have been, that ball had hit off the backboard and was coming down, and he might as well forget the play.
And I'll say one thing for Ewing, he is not timid. Nice pass to Eric Smith. He cuts the middle. And it's 10-6 in favor of the Hoyas. 4 points for Eric Smith. Doherty at 6'8", handling the ball extremely well. Black back to Doherty. Doherty's kind of the final piece in this Carolina puzzle. He fits in so well.
Here we go. Checking Spriggs out, going all over the floor, man to man.
They had the right idea, but Doherty could not handle the pass. That's 3 turnovers against Carolina. Fred Brown is going to check back in, and Eric Smith will catch a breather. North Carolina has not put in the ball in the hole. They've had 3 goaltending calls. That's how they've scored their points.
They're playing very tentatively so far. I'd say Georgetown's come out of the box with a much more positive-looking game.
13:22 to go. First half. Tough shots. Floyd off balance, still gets it.
There's another example.
Georgetown with a 10-6 lead. I should say 12-6 lead at the 13-11 mark. North Carolina under Dean Smith has never won the championship game. The 4th time they've been in this championship game. Michael Jordan. Nice pass to Perkins. Ewing got a piece of it. Perkins. Ewing again, and that'll be a 4th goaltending call.
That's an excellent call. John Thompson really trying to work these officials, but he doesn't want Patrick, who's just a freshman, to get disturbed. Look at John. He can fry an egg on his forehead.
He is hot before this is over.
Well, here it goes. On the way down, no question about that, but look at how high Ewing is. He's got his head almost even with that rim.
12-8, 4 goaltending calls. Ewing at the other end. Jones tries to bottle, but Worthy coming out of there. Off it comes to Doherty. Steal attempt by Brown, and Brown ever present on defense. He led this team in steals, and you can see how alert he is.
He is an amazing, Freddie Brown is amazing in this respect. Although he doesn't have blazing speed, he has great hand quickness and tremendous anticipation for a ball player.
He's that streetwise kid out of the Bronx in New York. Dean Smith, his best record ever coming into this game, 31-2, 15 wins in a row.
Well, they've gone almost 8 minutes without a ball going through the net, as you pointed out, Gary, which is highly unusual. Very tentative play by North Carolina.
That's 4 turnovers. Dean Smith is going to be concerned. Floyd in trouble. Got the ball to Brown. Blocked by Perkins. It's off of North Carolina. Coming back into the ball game. We're going to have a substitution. Well, for the first time, actually, Bill Martin will come in. Ewing will go out. Now, what do you think John Thompson will tell Patrick Ewing?
Well, I think he's just going to calm Patrick down. He has been a tremendous force in this game so far. Matter of fact, he didn't even talk to him as he walked by him. I think he's happy the way Patrick's playing, and his team looks very positive right now. North Carolina in the 2-3 zone on the out of bounds.
4-point lead for the Hoyas. 12-10 to go. This is for the NCAA championship. Fred Brown out to Sleepy Floyd. Floyd in tournament play has been brilliant. He had 22 points against Oregon State, his best. That almost was offensive interference by Bill Martin. Here comes Doherty. He challenged Floyd, didn't he?
First time that North Carolina has taken the ball to the defense, and not by any mere coincidence, Ewing is not in the game.
And that is the first field goal they have scored that wasn't awarded to him by goaltending. Floyd brings it out to Brown.
Sleepy Floyd went right through the double-team trap that time. He's a very wise basketball player.
Here's Floyd. Black lets him get by, and he can't let him get that step. Floyd took advantage of it. Sleepy Floyd gives him a 14-10 lead. Jordan out to Doherty.
Now let's see if Worthy gets into the ball game with really starts getting for that ball now that Ewing is not in there.
Ed Spriggs is the big man in the middle at 6'9". Martin's a big, tough performer at 6'7", the freshman. He's also from the Washington, D.C. area. You see Jones at 6'6" outside, so they still have some pretty good size in there.
Excellent team size. There's Worthy inside.
He gets out of some difficulty. Doherty saves it. Again, James Worthy. Almost impossible to block the shot.
That's what I expected. expected them to go to Worthy when Ewing sits.
When he shoots that ball, he shoots it at the zenith of his jump.
And you see John Thompson has Ewing and Eric Smith right back, ready to come in again. Just want to give him a little blow.
Here's Spriggs. That's out to Bill Martin. A little heavy on the shot. Spriggs has it again. He's a steadying influence. Sleepy Floyd, and Floyd, who was 3 of 11 Saturday, is shooting the lights out right now. He has 3 field goals. It's 16-12 Georgetown.
Spriggs asked to come out. He's a little tired right now. He had the great game Saturday as well.
Here's Worthy. There shows his range. Worthy with 8 points. Worthy this year averaging only 15-3, but Billy, the stats really don't show how good he is.
It's interesting. John Thompson walking up the court with Freddie Brown, trying to give the instructions and still staying within his bench area.
Boy, he's worked hard on maintaining poise, and this club has thus far done that. 9:50 to go first half. Floyd is 3 of 4 from the field in this game. Here he is. He's going to pop another one. Oh, he's on tonight. 4 of 5 for the consensus All-American. Gastonia against Gastonia on the last 2 shots.
And getting the better of Jimmy Black so far, who has been outstanding both against Granger and then the other day against Rob Williams. Today, Sleepy Floyd getting the better of him.
Sleepy Floyd hit 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and down the stretch was a big factor in that win. But tonight, he's back on track shooting from outside. And again, the good defense by Georgetown. Look at John Thompson in the background standing up and orchestrating all this. There he is. Look at him.
John Thompson wants more pressure on the ball.
Perkins brings it out. Black, here's Worthy. He's the bread and butter man right now.
Sensational turn because he had Jones coming from one side, kind of had to feel the man there and spun in the other direction.
There's your time remaining. Billy, you realize it's Worthy and Floyd going after each other right now as far as the point production. Broken up by Perkins. It'll be Georgetown's ball.
One of the things everybody's been talking about in the Dome is the depth perception on the shot. We also noticed that there is a problem sometimes on the lob passes, and that might have been the case right there for Spriggs.
We saw that in that Louisville-Georgetown game in particular. Timeout, a 2-point lead for Georgetown.
As you get closer, your eyes get wider, your heart beats faster, your determination grows strong. This is not gonna beat you. Oh, it's loud. And it's dirty, and yeah, it's big, but so are your plans. Hey, John boy, you ain't in Kansas anymore. From here on in, every day's gonna be a test. Those who pass deserve a great beer. Sam Adams is what's inside.
The NCAA thanks its corporate partners who dedicate financial resources, talent, and expertise to help emphasize the vital role intercollegiate athletics plays in society and in the overall development of student athletes. The support of higher education by these outstanding corporate citizens also provides funding for NCAA youth programs and NCAA championships. The NCAA and its corporate partners, together building a better experience for our student athletes.
No life insurance or too little insurance? Call Prime Quote today and learn how you can protect yourself and your family for less than $1 a day. Prime Quote agents research over 200 life insurance companies to get the best rate for you, like $100,000 in term life insurance for only 30 cents a day, or $500,000 in coverage for just 88 cents a day. And Prime Quote professionals are ready to help when you want a policy for $1 million or more. There are no high-pressure sales at Prime Quote, just real help you can trust. Call Prime Quote today.
This clothing store has great selection, but I run 250. All right, 260. And in my size, that selection is pretty thin. Well, I found a place that has great clothing selection for big guys. Tall guys, too. The king size catalog. Look, brand names, good prices, and perfect fit no matter what size you are. And convenience? Just pick up the phone and call. All the top designers, selection, colors, quality, all for big and tall men only. They've got everything in here. Shirts, slacks, shoes, jackets, jeans. Just for us big and tall guys. Are your shirts always too short, waist too tight? The king size catalog always has the perfect fit. The king size catalog, all for big and tall men only.
If you're a big or tall guy, write down that number. Give us a call for your free catalog. Every item is guaranteed for quality and fit. King size, the perfect fit.
This is ESPN Classic.
We're just back from the college store as we take our hats off to the Georgetown Hoyas and the North Carolina Tar Heels. The year was 1982, and they are battling in the NCAA final. This game that we're watching here on Classic Sports made for an interesting matchup between Dean Smith and John Thompson, who were very, very good friends, maybe even the best of friends. They'd met almost 10 years earlier when Smith went to D.C. to recruit a high school player named Donald Washington. Thompson was Washington's coach and legal guardian, and he didn't care much for the smooth-talking Smith from North Carolina. But Smith earned Thompson's respect when Washington, who did choose Carolina, ran into problems there. Smith helped him out and eventually steered him to a team in Europe. The friendship between the two coaches was cemented in 1976 when Thompson, by then at Georgetown, was Dean's assistant on the Olympic team that won a gold medal. You know, they were really friends when Thompson sent his son to Smith's basketball camp. That in mind, let's go back to 1982, where they are, at least at that moment, on opposite ends of the floor.
You're looking at Hank Nichols, one of the three officials working this game, and they're not here by happenstance. They earned it.
You better believe it. Officials work their way through the tournament. They're judged each and every game. After the first round games, they're judged as a team. And an added thing about Hank Nichols, he's a teacher at Villanova University. He was one of the referees in the finals of the NIT also. I don't know if any man has ever worked both the NIT championship and the NCAA championship. Not in recent memory, anyway. This is his second time to the championship game.
And Ewing has come back into the ball game for Georgetown at the 8:43 mark. Do you realize, Billy, we've had only one foul in this ball game. We've played 11-plus minutes, and it's been a physical game. Anthony Jones tries to follow.
Oh, great hands by Jordan.
Jordan just reached in and slotted it away. Here's Jimmy Braddock, who's checked in, a junior. The bench for North Carolina hasn't produced that much this year. The starting five has produced 88% of their offense coming into this game tonight. Worthy, and that's 5 of them.
That'll bring John Thompson up. Is that 5 goaltends?
That's 5.
Pretty soon, you got to ask a young man at 18, are you going to keep it up? There he is, Pat Ewing getting it on the way down. I think they've all been very good calls and not very difficult calls to make.
10 of the 18 points have come on goaltending, and we're tied up 18-all.
Here's a double-team trap by North Carolina.
Bill Martin, both the freshmen missing shots, Jones and Martin. 8 minutes to go, first half. Braddock will back it out to Worthy. Worthy, who in the early going has really been carrying this ball club offensively. He has 12 points. Floyd, on the other hand, has 8 points for Georgetown.
Nice back door try by Jordan that time, but Sleepy Floyd showing great defense.
You see Ewing go around. He almost came up with a steal. That will go off of Georgetown. Substitution, Ed Spriggs will check back in for the Hoyas. And going out of the ball game is going to be Bill Martin, the freshman who missed the shot a while ago. You know, Worthy isn't shooting too bad in this game. He's 6 of 7.
He's, 4 for 4 with Pat Ewing getting a piece of it.
And North Carolina has now hit their last 6 shots in a row from the field. Here's Worthy. Somehow he doesn't come up with the ball.
Nice job by Ewing.
Smith. 2-on-1. Eric Smith, tough shot to hit.
A very good move by Eric Smith to pull up short rather than try to take that into the defense.
That gives the Hoyas a 2-point lead, 20-18. 6 points in the game for Eric Smith, the co-captain, along with Ed Spriggs.
Here's your man-to-man, Ewing out there on Perkins. Now, Perkins is drawing him away from the basket.
Braddock into Perkins. Perkins out of Latham, New York. Vastly improved.
Nice help that time in there by Eric Smith.
Perkins this year gained about 25.
That was a double dribble.
And Braddock almost in trouble with Floyd on him.
I think the official felt that the ball was tipped.
And there's a foul on Eric Smith. And that will be his first personal foul, only the second foul. And we have 6:52 to go in this first half.
Now, even though Jimmy Braddock did not do anything on that will show up statistically, I thought he handled the ball club pretty well when he came in there, and that's what Dean Smith was asking, a few minutes to spell Jimmy Black.
Bill Guthridge, his assistant, along with Dean Smith, 21 years. He's been in the quest for an NCAA championship title. And right now, his team down by 2. Worthy with Spriggs playing tough on him. Worthy loves to isolate you. Beautiful pass to Jordan. He changed hands, couldn't get it in a foul.
Well, Patrick Ewing again, although he didn't get a piece of that, he's altered Jordan's shot for the second time tonight. You'll see it right here. Worthy trying to get the backdoor cut with a little screen. Jordan had already screened. He had to use the left hand. Ewing gets a piece. Now Worthy goes down and gets grabbed on the arm.
Substitution, Chris Brust is checking in. Brust number 45. Perkins will check out at the 6:39 mark. Black will trigger. Jimmy Black led the ACC in assists this year. Brings it out to Jordan. Jordan had 18 points in the game on Saturday.
How about Ewing stepping up to help there all the way from under the basket. Now we get a little zone trap.
Doherty tipped up and in by Worthy. I should say slammed in by Worthy. That's a remarkable play. 14 points. He's 7 of 8 from the field.
Worthy is now in the man-to-man situation trying to guard Ewing.
And inside, Brust is guilty of fouling.
Okay, we're going to see that last play by James Worthy. Excellent position to rebound. Here's the block out, not quite there. Worthy grabs it and then just forces it down into the rim.
He must have unbelievably large hands, strong hands to pull that off. John Thompson, 40 years old, the winningest coach in the history of Georgetown. 4 straight NCAA appearances. And the steal by Buzz Peterson. But
and
coming up is
Freddie
Brown. Brown is going to challenge him, and that basket, we'll see if it counts. It's going to be charging.
I think the basket should count. Should count. Yep, good call.
So the charging foul, but the basket being awarded.
Go back to the steal, though. There you had Peterson had an opportunity with an easy steal, and Fred Brown just took it away from him. Now here's the call. Worthy is set, no question about it. Ball release. Great call by the official.
Third team foul now against Georgetown. 6 minutes. Up to Peterson. Peterson picked up by Brown. Spriggs really playing Worthy tight. He's just out as close as he can possibly guard him. Look at the chesting job here by Eric Smith on Doherty. They're right under their chin. Peterson. Long. Peterson comes up with it. Brust. Right now he's gone to his bench with Peterson and Brust in there. Trying to give his starters some breathing room, and again, and Worthy with a beautiful arching shot has 16 points in the game.
Sensational defense, too, by Spriggs against him. Went straight up chest to chest.
It's all tied, 22 all. Worthy with 16 of those 22 points. Eric Smith on the move. Tough shot. He pulls it off. And Georgetown bumps it up to a 2-point lead. 8 points in the game for Eric Smith. Peterson on the drive. He was intimidated by Ewing that time. Floyd, he kicked it. They had the ball, but they were fighting amongst themselves.
That was a pretty good move by Peterson, though. He took the ball to Ewing. He had in mind going ahead right at him, and then he had to put that long arching shot up there. Isn't it amazing how Pat Ewing can get down the court? He never seems to be out of position.
Now some substitutions. Worthy's going to check out of the ball game. Sam Perkins, you're looking at him.
What I think we're seeing Dean Smith doing with his bench right now is the other day, Saturday, he went with the first 5 the entire second half. There never was a substitution. He's getting them in there now. Nice back door.
Brust on a fine assist to Jimmy Black. So Brust comes in. First 2 points in the ball game now for Jimmy Black. And other than Worthy, the other 4 starters have scored 2 points each. So it's been Worthy carrying them offensively. 24 all. Floyd against Jordan. Perkins with a rebound. That's one of the few that Sleepy Floyd hasn't gotten to go through.
That's a very difficult shot going down in the baseline.
Now with a chance to take the lead is North Carolina.
Look at Ewing coming out from the basket, 30 feet away.
Eric Smith staying with Peterson. Here is Jordan. Reach around by Floyd. Partially blocked at time by Ewing. Brust has it. He's fouled, and Brust has done a very good job for North Carolina.
Pat Ewing a little bit upset there, getting a little frustrated. Now, anytime Ewing gets frustrated, John Thompson covers. Here we see it inside. Brust gets the ball. Ewing comes down. He did get a little piece of the arm. It might have been a brush, but he did get a piece. Should be 2 shots.
That's his second foul. A 2-shot foul coming up. Right now, a break in the action. 4:04 to go in this first half. And it's all tied up. 24 all.
This is ESPN Classic.
Our
Are you living in the dark ages, using dangerous sharp knives and rusty peelers to prepare vegetables for meals? Well, step into the future with the amazing new Rotato, the easiest and safest way to peel fruits and vegetables. Just load the Rotato, adjust the spring-loaded robotic arm, and watch the razor-sharp Kai blade conform to any fruit or vegetable. It's quick, safe, easy, and cleanup is a snap. Spend less time preparing meals and more time enjoying them. It peels potatoes, tomatoes, even kiwis. You'll do apples for applesauce, lemons for lemon zest, beets for salads, and exotic fruits like mangoes for healthy fruit salad. And nothing goes to waste. Cook potato peelings for hash browns, onions for steakhouse delights, or create garnishes that will amaze your friends. Rotato is the original all-in-one complete peeling system that leaves all others in the dust. If you order now, you'll also receive this eye remover for stubborn potatoes and these 2 extra razor-sharp Kai blades in a secret compartment at no extra charge. Inferior peelers cost over $40, but through this special TV offer, you get the Rotato, the eye remover, and the 2 Kai blades for the incredible low price of just $29.99. That's just $29.99. And if you order right now, you'll also receive the Julienne Slicer, a $10 value at no extra charge. Make perfect Julienne cuts and French fries every time. Call now and you get the Rotato, the 2 extra Kai blades, the eye remover, and the Julienne Slicer, all for just $29.99. That's just $29.99. And amazing value. But if you pick up the phone in the next 10 minutes as a special one-time bonus, the exclusive Tap and Chop is yours free. It makes short work of all your chopping needs. Tap and Chop does onions, herbs, nuts, even ice, and much more. But you must call in the next 10 minutes to receive this special bonus. Order now.
To order Rotato for only $29.99 plus shipping, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-216-5599. That's 1-800-216-5599. Or send check or money order to Rotato, 8 Telebrands Plaza, Fairfield, New Jersey. That's 1-800-216-5599. Order your Rotato now.
Are you old school? Old school, like Earl the Pearl, shaking and baking.
Mark Fidrich, Bobby Orr.
Joe Lewis, old school.
Old school is Paul Bear Brands.
Like Pistol Pete.
Illy Funkster socks.
Black socks.
Shorts.
Definitely old school. Old school like me. Julius Irvin.
Dr. J.
Running down like in the 70s with a big afro.
Got it going on.
I can play basketball with anybody.
Now that's old school.
The fans here in the Louisiana Superdome have an added advantage. They can watch those beautiful TV screens about 80 feet above the playing floor. We noticed on Saturday and also tonight that they react to those replays. Some of the plays that Worthy made and some that we're seeing here today. At the line will be Brust, and he hasn't been at the free throw line very much this year.
Well, he really hasn't. He's been there 20 times, made 9 for only 45%. This young fella came to college with quite a reputation, but he came already injured, and he never was able to quite get himself into the playing condition that was expected.
Well, he made a big assist a while ago, but he doesn't get the free throw. It's still 24-all. And North Carolina, who's been brilliant from the line, is 0 for 3 in this game thus far.
There's that stat right up there.
Rust from Avalon, New York. Wait a minute. A basket will count, and coming in will be Worthy. Rust will check out. So James Worthy back in.
Now you can imagine that Dean Smith will keep this starting 5 in there up till halftime and let them take their break. A 2-2-1 full court press.
The Tar Heels with a 1-point lead, less than 4 minutes to go in this first half. Gene Smith has checked in now.
North Carolina in the zone. Look for Sleepy Floyd trying to get open.
This is Smith, number 22, an excellent defensive player. You see the time remaining, the lower right-hand portion of the screen.
Now what North Carolina will do now, they'll shade away from Gene Smith and let him put up a shot.
Ewing, that's the way he started the ball game. Right there at that spot, and that gives the Hoyas a 1-point lead.
Nice release by Pat Ewing.
Ewing with 6 points. He's had 5 goaltendings at the other end. Here is Worthy against Ewing. Rebound, Jordan. He changed hands and hit it.
Left hand. Very underrated rebounder, and all year long, people aren't aware of his tremendous leaping ability, and from the guard position at 6'5", he's a dangerous rebounder.
Jordan was an outstanding baseball player in high school. He has 5 rebounds in this game. Ewing has to kick it out this time.
Smart play by Ewing, not to occupy that ball.
Carolina with a 1-point lead, less than 3 minutes. That shot was partially blocked. Hancock put it up. Here comes Jimmy Black. Floyd is back. Worthy. He was off balance. And Perkins has it for North Carolina. Worthy getting up slowly. Harry has the ball. He's got it again. Worthy, the consensus All-American. has 18 points in the game. His career tourney record is 21.
Here's John Thompson again talking to his club. North Carolina surprises me. They go back to man-to-man. No, they're trapping out of it.
And we have a foul. It's going to go on Michael Jordan as they trapped in the backcourt, stopping the clock with 2:22. Red Brown will come in. Ed Spriggs will come in. Hancock and Gene Smith will check out.
There's Dean Smith trying to ask for a walk-in violation. Now, here you go. Worthy went up so high because he knew Ewing was coming over. Maybe a little higher than be comfortable. Here comes Jordan, as I said, a very dangerous offensive rebounder. Goes in, changes to the left hand, and puts it up.
That was only the second team foul against North Carolina. Just a little over 2 minutes left in this first half. Floyd, oh, beautiful.
He was fouled on the shot and still had the concentration and the follow-through to put it in.
A 1-point lead now for North Carolina. Floyd with 10 points, and that's a foul on Eric Smith. Trying to reach around Jimmy Black. That's his second, and 16 fouls. They're one away from a shooting situation. And so Carolina will inbounds it with 2:04 in this first half. Dean Smith says, you know, I've never won this championship game, but there's only been 2 coaches in history that's been to the Final Four 7 times or more. That's John Wooden himself. Out to Black. Now they might be a little content, Billy, to let some time elapse.
Well, they don't want to go right into the teeth of that zone defense with Ewing in the middle, but they've got it back in there pretty good right now.
Perkins against Ewing, intimidate a little bit, and down to the rebound comes Sleepy Floyd. At 6'3", only weighs 170, but he can jump. Nice play, rebound Ewing, and he's fouled.
Good foul by Jordan. It was an easy play for Ewing. Sleepy Floyd keeping a lot of pressure on the defense. When he gets the ball, he not only does the great jump shot, but as we pointed out at the top of the show, he can penetrate to the baseline as well.
Pat Ewing this year shooting 61% from the free throw line in the regular season. Man who's learned to control that physical ability. A substitution, Buzz Peterson, comes in. Jordan will check out. Thus far in this game, as you look at John Thompson and Eric Smith, Ewing has 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 goaltends, and 1 block shot. He's covered all bases.
Well, Patrick, a 61% free throw shooter, been to the line 164 times this year.
It's good form. We were watching earlier. Now watching. So, as you call it, the good rotation on the ball.
An excellent follow-through for a big man. Many times a guy of this size has trouble with his foul shooting because his hands are so huge he can never get a nice feel of the ball from a standpoint of his fingertip control. Ewing does have that control and a beautiful follow-through.
Acts like a 6-foot guard up there. That's the first free throw Georgetown has had the opportunity to shoot in this game. And Ewing gets both of them. Pat Ewing, that shows you the athletic ability of this big guy to stand up on the line like that. 30-29, the Hoyas by 1. 1.5 to go, first half. To Worthy. Worthy catches that ball up in the air, and it's all over. You can't get it away from him.
Well, we talked about Worthy and Rodney McCray being the 2 best catchers of the ball I've seen in person this year. Now North Carolina spreading out a little bit. And right away, John Thompson's club said, if they're going to spread it, we're going to go back.
They have backed in there with Spriggs and Ewing really making it tough to penetrate inside.
Gordy's looking for the shot.
Bring it back out. You see the time. There it was, a minute to go.
I think we'll see North Carolina go for one now. And then I'm talking about take the last shot.
One thing about Georgetown, Billy, they come out and just kind of chest you out, don't they, when you pick up the ball. There's a reach in by Floyd.
Big turnover.
Eric Smith out the Sleepy Floyd.
Got the lob.
There it is. You can see that one coming.
That again shows you Ewing never stops running on the court. He gets up and down the court so well.
32-29, the Hoyas with the lead. You see the time now, 26 seconds.
That was a big turnover by Doherty.
Here is Peterson. Look at the defense. The Hoyas jumping around, movement to go with that big size, and they can't get that ball inside right now. Here's the man who's been doing most of the damage. And a foul. Sleepy Floyd. That's been really their bread and butter is right over the middle.
And here's Sleepy Floyd. Now, There are not many men in the country that can do what Pat Ewing did there. He came from 80 feet down the court to be in position to be on that fast break because he was playing right under the basket defensively. He never stops running, and that's what makes it so tough to keep up with him.
You know what's interesting about that? Ewing may be their fastest man in some way, and they say Worthy is for North Carolina. You don't expect big men like that to cover the distance. Now Braddock comes in. Going out will be Black with 8 seconds. Sam Perkins 0 for 2 at the free throw line with 2 points.
Now there's a lot of time on this clock. Georgetown does not have to rush coming down the court if these shots go in or if they miss.
A 1-and-1. So at the other end, Ewing was able to connect on both. Now Perkins has the same opportunity, and he can cut it to 1. Perkins, who this summer worked on a construction job, he said he wanted to get tougher, stronger, and he's done that.
Okay, full court pressure now by North Carolina, trying to occupy as much time bringing the ball up the court.
They're doing that, but we're going to have a foul on Braddock.
Now, think of this, what happened right there. See, North Carolina is not in the 1-and-1. They could let Sleepy Floyd bring the ball up the court and then foul him. Don't let him get in a position to shoot. They'll do it again.
That's only 14 fouls, so they can do it again.
Now, what they'll do is try to go ahead and foul as soon as the guy touches it. Too late.
Spriggs wide open. They let him have it, and that's going to end our first half. It's a 1-point ball game. Pat Ewing, a last-minute reminder to the official. This game is shaping up just about the way we figured, right down to the wire. As the Hoyas, who have won 10 in a row, with a 1-point 32-31 halftime lead. CBS Sports coverage of the 1982 NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this word from your local station.
Black toes sniff out a white plate. The nation hot glued to a half second. Old dusty legends step back. A superstar comes home, and a hat made of American cotton follows behind. We see it.
Sports Center of the Decade, tomorrow at 8:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
Gordon, right?
Yes. Have you ever worked with anything high-tech?
No.
Thank you for the resume.
But we're looking for someone with
more education.
Some experience.
Good luck to you.
What you don't know can hurt you. So let ITT Tech help. Call 1-800-791-2908 for an informative brochure. That's 1-800-791-2908.
Next.
The jobs of tomorrow are here. Thousands of them, waiting to be filled. But you have to know the fields they're in, and you have to have what it takes to master those fields. Because you can't get the jobs of tomorrow until you get the skills of today.
Start by calling ITT Technical Institute. We'll send you an informative brochure on tomorrow's careers and what it takes to get them. Call 1-800-791-2908.
Gather around and observe the age-old problem of people working the same old way.
He's running a marathon between the printer and the copier.
Another fact she can't read.
Sharing knowledge should be easy.
What can we do?
Go. Tell them about the Xerox Document Center family and the free video.
Document Centers are network digital copy of printers. Just point and click. And right from your desk, you can
Print, fax, copy, even collect.
Only one trip down the hall.
It's all in the video.
Document Centers are upgradable, so you can add features.
I know.
You can easily scan a document, store it, or change it on your computer, and send it
anywhere in the world using your network.
Or through the internet.
How did you know that?
I watched the video.
Smart people. Curious clothing.
For information about Xerox Document Centers and your free video, call now 1-800-290-4570.
This is ESPN Classic.
Well, we have 20 minutes to decide the issue here. The 1982 NCAA Championship. Georgetown with a 1-point advantage at halftime, 32-31. As far as statistics are concerned in the game, Georgetown shooting the better of it from the field. And the rebounds are what really surprised me. I didn't realize North Carolina was that far ahead.
That's hard to believe, but I guess you have to consider that Georgetown hadn't missed that many shots.
Billy, something we should keep in mind, and North Carolina's been a great second-half ball club during the tournament. They're shooting during tournament play over 75% from the field.
Well, they are, but they haven't had to play against a defense like they're seeing tonight. Pat Ewing has really been dominant inside, and it was 11 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock before North Carolina ever got a ball to go through that basket.
I think one thing that many people were worried about, concerned about, was a foul situation. Could Ewing stay out of foul trouble? There's no foul difficulty at the halftime mark. Look at it. It's been Gastonia and North Carolina against each other. 18 and 10.
That relationship right there, John Thompson and Pat Ewing, is amazing in this respect. How much John has brought him along to mature as an individual. And I think that's what we're seeing out here. Although only a freshman, he's playing a very mature ball game.
North Carolina will inbounds the ball. Interestingly enough, Worthy in those points. 8 of those shots that he hit in the first half were all within the paint, within the lane area, to show you the good open shots that he was getting, the good percentage shots. Baseline, Doherty, and Doherty takes it up and he's fouled.
Doherty held his ground inside looking for the pump fake. Nobody went for it. He was surrounded by both Spriggs and Ewing. Pat Ewing probably in that case figured he'd let Doherty release before he really went after the ball, but Doherty was able to pick up the 2-shot foul.
Spriggs commits a foul. Now this is what John Thompson did Saturday. He comes out with a different lineup to start the second half. Both times he started Spriggs in the second half of play. He's doing that tonight. Doherty at the line with 2 points, now 3 points, and it's all tied up.
Very interestingly, Dean Smith allows those players that would like to come out to shoot before a ball game in the morning, the day of the game, to come out. Only one player came out today. That was Matt Doherty.
He has been a little concerned about his shooting. He has given Carolina the lead. 33-32.
Here's the pressure, a little double team, recognized very well by Georgetown.
Red Brown to Ewing. Worthy's down and up, but he just took it inside. 12 points for the 7-foot freshman.
That was a great shot. Both teams are throwing the ball over the press very well. This is the first time we've seen somebody put it on the floor very much.
34-33, the Hoyas. Michael Jordan. Oh, what a shooter he is. He had a slump earlier this year, and he just stayed after practice and shot the ball until he got it back again.
Showed some concentration, kept his eye right on the rim, was not awed by Ewing coming at him.
6 points for Michael Jordan. A minute has gone by in the second half.
Straight man-to-man by North Carolina.
Floyd, push on. I think Perkins is guilty of pushing off inside. That's his first personal foul. And Floyd, who in that first half shot the ball very well, misses on that one.
Good defense by Jimmy Black, staying right with him, altering the jump shot a little bit. Perkins had his hand on Ewing all the way there, and it was well called by the official.
Floyd in the first half hit 5 of 8 from the field. Batted out of bounds by North Carolina. Georgetown will reset it. Pete Smith says, wait a minute.
Might have been, did he call a foul? I don't believe so. Let's see. No, just an out-of-bounds situation.
Well, Dean was up. He was in arms about it. Here comes Floyd. Broken up. It's off of North Carolina. Doherty was trying to indicate it was off of Sleepy Floyd.
What's so tough, the double team, the club that's on the floor right now for Georgetown, is they really have 3 guards out there. Eric Smith can come out and play that way, so it allows Freddie Brown to be the guy who can be the recipient of passes rather than initiating all the offense.
Brown is not an outstanding outside shooter. They like to get him to penetrate inside, and here he is with the ball now. Indicating the offense. Good patience now by Georgetown. Eric Smith out to Sleepy Floyd.
2-1-2 zone now by North Carolina.
Well, they found an opening there. Perkins and Ewing up against each other. It's off for Georgetown.
Well, now Perkins normally would just grab that rebound without any trouble, but with Ewing, everything is contested off the boards.
He's over his back, and he can pull it off with those long arms, and he's got about 3 to 4 inches of height advantage.
There's Spriggs, showing you how hard he works defensively.
Look at that, only 9 of 43. That's an interesting statistic. Let's see how that proves in this game. 35-34, North Carolina with the lead. Eric Smith. Out to Floyd. He had to change his shot. Reach in by Jimmy Black. Black to Worthy. Broken. Taken away by Floyd.
Great steal by Eric Floyd.
Smith to Brown. Perkins backs him out of there. Nothing doing, and here comes Jimmy Black again, almost re-stealing the ball. Eric Smith Ewing follow tips. Ewing again. Ewing again. Ewing again.
That play will be remembered in this game. Pat Ewing starting to take control inside.
14 points for Ewing. 36-35, Georgetown to the lead. Oh, is it tough under the boards. And Doherty backs it out. 17-20 remaining. Black to Worthy. Boy, he draws a crowd, and Brown commits the foul. Wait a minute, they may count it on Spriggs. It could have been either one, it looked like.
Boy, you could hear the grunting down there under the boards on that last rebounding occasion where Ewing got his hands in the ball 3 or 4 times before putting it in.
It was Brown with the foul. Well, Carolina number 1, well, that hasn't been decided yet.
Every Carolina player is bending over with hands on knees right now. That's usually a sign that kids are very, very tired. Here's where Georgetown's bench may come to help them. See the Carolina players bending over with hands on their knees.
The substitutions, both freshmen, Bill Martin and Anthony Jones, come in. At the 17-15 mark, Doherty brings it out to Jordan. Doherty was really bent over as he was waiting inbounds that pass. Worthy off to Perkins. Look how they rotate around. Here's Jordan. He hit one here earlier, and he's going to try another one, and he's fouled. That basket would have counted had it gone in.
That freshman is not odd at all in this ball game. He takes the ball inside and penetrates. I think for North Carolina, they've got to figure out a way to get some production offensively out of Perkins. He only had 4 at halftime and hadn't been able to get a shot off here.
North Carolina. At the line will be Jordan from Wilmington, North Carolina. I was talking about that shooting slump. He went in, Billy, and shot 82 extra shots after practice because it was the year of 1982. Walter Davis had a shooting slump in 77, so they shot 77 shots after practice. It got him back on track. He has 7 points in this game.
Of course, Walter Davis entered that tournament in 77 with a broken index finger, so he had somewhat of an excuse there.
Well, that's the year that many people feel that Dean Smith had the best ball club. Lagarde was hurt, Davis was hurt, Ford was hurt. Now, after that basket, it's 37-32. North Carolina with the 1-point lead. 16:57 to go. Here's Martin. Martin missed a couple of shots in the first half of play. And he lost his poise a little bit. It's going to be off of who? It's going to be off of North Carolina.
When Billy Martin comes into the ball game, that allows Worthy to slough off and help Perkins inside. They're going to force Martin to show he can make a shot from outside.
Jones is 1 of 3. The one for home. The other is 0 for 2. Steal by Worthy.
Watch Ewing.
He intimidated him. Followed beautifully by Michael Jordan. Jordan with 10 points.
Smart move, though, by North Carolina to try to get the break going a little bit.
Boy, he knew Ewing was in the vicinity. Changed the shot. Back door. Maybe Floyd. No foul. Worthy went down trying to draw the foul, but to no avail.
And who made the dish? Pat Ewing. Beautiful backdoor cut. The old blind pig play.
1-point lead for North Carolina. Look at Worthy get up in the air off to Black. It's like money in the bank when you throw the ball to that guy in the air. He just brings it down, and it's all over. 16 minutes to go.
I'm surprised they don't go to Worthy now. He's got Billy Martin on him.
Martin at 6'7", giving up a couple of inches. Perkins, there they go. Beautiful by Ewing. Oh, did he time that perfectly? Off to Martin. Bill Martin loses the ball. He's having a tough time. He's turned the ball over a couple of times. John Thompson is unhappy. Spriggs will come back in for Georgetown.
Here we see the over the head, but you can hear the big guy coming behind you, and Jimmy Black tries to get it up on the short hop. It's not there, and here comes Jordan again. We said a very dangerous offensive rebounder.
What an awful feeling that's got to be, Billy, to know that Ewing is coming down your back.
He is one of the best runners for a big man I have ever seen in basketball, and I think that's one of the assets he has. A lot of people don't rate it.
Here's Ewing. Perkins, a jump hook. He got it off quickly.
As was the case in that rebound a few minutes ago. Perkins will remember that one.
6 points for Sam Perkins, 41-38. North Carolina with the lead, 15-14.
One of the things anybody playing North Carolina has to do is keep the game tight. They don't want them to start to get into the delay game.
Floyd cut off at the baseline, out to Spriggs. Eric Smith. Doherty, reach in by Worthy. Off of Worthy, the quickness of James Worthy. And now Fred Brown will come in and Jones will come out. Jones and Martin, who came in to give the starters breathers, now come back out of the game. We've played over 5 minutes in the second half. Carolina with a 3-point lead.
This is ESPN Classic.
This ESPN Classic presentation is brought to you by Philips, technology that's making life a little better all the time.
I'm going to the movies. Hey.
Philips high-definition home theater.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Very simple. No stress. They arrange to pick me up free, so I don't have to ask anyone for a ride. See? No stress.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I'm grateful that Michael Garcia is in our lives.
State Farm, Mike Garcia speaking.
We had a house fire, house burned.
That was a tough day.
They didn't treat us as a policyholder, they treated us as a neighbor, as a friend.
I gave him a check right away. We went from there to putting the pieces back together.
He's not a hero in the sense of a sports hero or a movie star. He's a quiet hero.
He looks out for everyone in the neighborhood.
It's gone from being a slogan to really being my way of life.
Does your skincare product offer incomplete care? Most do. Even some new ones don't offer everything your skin needs most. Now, have it all. Introducing new Oil of Olay Complete. Daily protection against UVA and UVB rays, vitamin E, and Olay Moisture in one complete product. Not some of what you need some of the time. This one has it all. New Oil of Olay Complete. Proven to give your skin everything it needs most to look beautiful.
It knows 2 speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world, and it's brand new. Go ahead. Yes. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
This is ESPN Classic.
We're back on Classic Sports as we live in 1982 and Georgetown's taking on North Carolina for everything that there was to get in an NCAA championship game. Now, besides making headlines as Georgetown's sensational freshman center, Patrick Ewing stood out for originating the T-shirt under the jersey look that became so popular in college basketball. However, Ewing didn't begin wearing his trend-setting tees as a fashion statement. He initially donned the extra layer to fend off a recurring cold in some of the drafty arenas that he found around the Big East. Once Ewing got to the NBA, league rules kept him from wearing his now famous T-shirts, so he was forced to leave it immortalized as part of his college legend. Back we go now to the 1982 NCAA Final. Ewing's Georgetown Hoyas and the North Carolina Tar Heels.
And they're looking from high above the Superdome. 14 minutes, 57 seconds left in this game. North Carolina has a 3-point lead. Gary Bender, along with Billy Packer, has Dean Smith trying for the first time to win the NCAA title.
Mike, I need to ask Mike Swanson the question. How many team timeouts does North Carolina have so far? Have they used any? Well, I think what we're going to see, Gary, is Dean Smith, rather than going to the bench for the rest, may use the timeout for the legitimate rest for his team because he'd like to keep this first 5 in there the rest of the way.
Important trip down the floor, as you mentioned. Georgetown cannot afford to drop too far behind and get North Carolina in that delay game. Squall's going to take care of that problem.
Sensational outside jump shooting.
14 points for Sleepy Floyd.
Here comes the pressure.
41-40, Carolina by 1. Jimmy Black, you know, Jordan in this game, Billy, is a leading rebounder with 7.
And he's had at least 2 of those that he's put back up for scores on the offensive end. There's Worthy pushed off. Great play by Spriggs.
Spriggs trying to help the official that time, claiming it was off of Worthy, but it was not.
Spriggs was pushed by Worthy, still was quick enough. Now watch, see Worthy push him? He got away with a foul, and Spriggs was still quick enough to get over there.
We've had 8 lead changes. There's a steal. Oh, he missed a step. Eric Smith, though, recovers. And the tip by Ewing. Oh, what an effort by this Georgetown team. That was a tantalizing shot that finally dropped through. 16 points for Ewing. And now we have our 9th lead change of the game. 1-point lead for the Hoyas.
Sleepy Floyd playing both ends of the court. Look at Spriggs out there on Worthy.
Into Perkins. He's going to challenge Ewing. Blocked. Ewing got a piece of it, but Worthy is there. Boy, a 1-2 punch that time.
That's what I talked about early in the game, that Perkins could occupy Ewing if they got him the ball. He makes him play honest.
20 points now for Worthy. Playing outstanding basketball. 43-42, North Carolina into Ewing. Perkins tries to stop him, but to no avail. He can put the ball down and move with it.
Not good defense that time by North Carolina. You want to go after that ball if he puts it down that close.
44-43, Georgetown. Seesaw back and forth. 13-10 left in the game. Ewing coming out on Perkins. Look at him. Billy, stay with him. Jordan almost walked to the ball. Rebound by Ewing, and Ewing's all over the place.
North Carolina may need a timeout right now. Their guys are getting very tired.
Georgetown with the lead. They can add to it. Ewing's going to do that. It'll count, and he's fouled by Sam Perkins. Perkins commits a foul. A 3-point play possibility coming up.
You can feel a little momentum change. The Carolina players getting tired. Now, Dean Smith putting in Peterson. Here you go. Ewing on the inside, looking for that ball, giving a good target, keeping his hands up. Perkins goes with him, and when he flicks that wrist down, he comes down with a foul. Ewing with a chance for the three-pointer.
Great camera work. You can just see the rotation on the ball. Ewing this year averaged only 12.5 points a game, but he has 18 tonight to go with 7 rebounds.
Gives that ball a little massage.
Oh. What a basketball player, and he's just a freshman. John Thompson has brought him along very, very carefully, and he has been nailing those free throws. He has 19 points.
Uh-oh!
Ooh, almost.
Well, what happened? The ball was tipped by defensive player, and then it hit under the backboard.
North Carolina now trailing 47-43. Here's Peterson, the man you mentioned, that came in for Jordan. A steal attempt by Floyd.
Dean Smith needs a timeout.
Floyd missed another layup. That's 2 now. 1 step that he missed in that one. He's all over, though, defensively. Here's Perkins. Sam Perkins at 6'9", shooting outside. Cuts it to 2.
Big break for North Carolina. Sleepy Floyd really angry with himself for missing that one.
Floyd is really showing why he was a consensus All-American, as is Worthy. They're living up to all the billing that they've had all year long. That's a foul on Black. Black trying to stay with Floyd somehow. Look at him discuss the situation.
Yeah, there's
great respect for each other.
Little temper going right there. Jimmy Black, as we said, had a great game against Granger. There he pushed him on off. Floyd's not going to be intimidated. You can count on that.
First foul
there they
on
are,
Black.
coming back with a little elbow of his own.
3rd team foul on North Carolina. Black having to apply it a little closer. The defensive pressure. Floyd is open. I'll tell you, it's just amazing what he's doing.
Well, you cannot double team the ball and leave Sleepy Floyd alone.
Back to a 4-point lead now for Georgetown. 11:55 to go. Buzz Peterson. Ewing comes down, loses it. Floyd is there. He saves it. Up it comes to Fred Brown.
The momentum's changing.
Brown mishandled the ball. He lost the handle. The basket will count, and this foul is going to go on Sleepy Floyd.
When you think the momentum is going all Georgetown, Worthy gets it. Sleepy Floyd's seen this play before. There's no way he's going to stop James Worthy on that dunk. And listen to the fans in here. They see it on the big screen over again, and they're just enjoying it.
2 men from Gastonia, North Carolina, meeting there. They both went to the same church. They did not go to the same high school. They met 1 year in the state championship finals.
storm. Wet road. Looks pretty bad, huh? No problem. That's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive, the ultimate safety feature. Thanks, kid. See, it automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip. And only Subaru puts it on every car they make. And that's no accident. Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
My job is to compare products. And it's not often that I'm surprised. So when Head & Shoulders went up against the leading prescription brand, I expected the prescription to be better, but it isn't. A study proves Head & Shoulders is effective against dandruff. I found out there's a microscopic fungus associated with dandruff, and Head & Shoulders helps kill it. Helps stop flakes before they even start. Not even the expensive prescription works better. You may never see flakes again. I don't.
On the next Chap One-on-One, Hall of Fame legend and the winningest left-hander in the major leagues, Warren Spahn. His early days.
We played with pain because in those days, if you got out of the lineup, you might not get back.
Meeting an up-and-coming Hank Aaron.
Big things are going to happen for Hank Aaron.
And his own childhood heroes.
Although I admired the things that Babe Ruth did, Lou Gehrig was my idol.
Spahn, Chap One-on-One. Tonight at 6:30, only on ESPN Classic.
What do you want to ask Jackie?
Well, Jackie wants to know if you man on first and second, and there's a fly ball hits the outfield, there's a big wind, and it throws the ball towards the infield. The first baseman's under it, but the outfielder yells and keep off. The outfielder dives the ball, but doesn't get it. The ball goes into the outfield. All three men score. I'd like to know, are there any outs? And if there are, how many men score?
Wow. If anything, you got a question here.
Tonight on ESPN Classic. At 7, it's your daily trivia with a full hour of sports challenge. First, Duke Snider and the Brooklyn Dodgers test their sports IQ against Tony Dorsett and the Dallas Cowboys. Then, Dorsett and the boys take on Lyle Alzado and the Denver Broncos. And at 8, don't miss the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, in an 18-hole playoff at the nerve-wracking 1966 Masters on Masters on Monday. Old school, only on ESPN Classic.
The scoreboard comes into focus. 11:41 left. Georgetown with a 49-47 lead. Worthy with that magnificent play a while ago has set a tourney career high for himself of 22 points. And when he winds it up, I don't think there's any air left in the ballpark.
You know, it's interesting. We've made the comparison and talked about the two kids from Gastonia, but Sleepy Floyd was not a highly recruited player as a senior in high school, whereas James Worthy was wanted by everybody in the country as early as his sophomore year in college, and yet they both turned out to be All-Americans. Kind of an interesting story.
Chance for this three-point play for Worthy. It's a one-point game.
North Carolina has been doing a lot of double teaming, but what has been killing them is that Sleepy Floyd's not handling the ball, so he's always away from the double team to be in a shooting position.
And he really moves off the ball, doesn't he? Eric Smith. Ed Spriggs will bring it back out to Sleepy Floyd. He wants to shoot again. That's one of the few he hasn't hit from there. Here's Worthy bringing it out to Jordan. Jordan walked to the ball, I believe. Yes, he did.
Credit Eric Smith. Any team that wins the national championship is great in transition play. They can go from offense to defense well. Eric Smith back there waiting on the pass, and that's why Jordan took his eye off it.
10 turnovers now against North Carolina. 11-12 left in the game. Doherty coming out. Here's Spriggs. Spriggs handles the ball and moves so well for a man at 6'9". They have great confidence in that ability.
It's Perkins playing Spriggs. Worthy now over on Ewing.
Reach in, Jimmy Black trying to stay with Sleepy Floyd, and he's fouled. Jordan coming across. He was creating things inside.
Floyd, when he has the ball, penetrates, and when he doesn't have the ball, he offsets beautifully to get the open jumpers.
Second foul on Michael Jordan, fourth. There it is, Ewing and Floyd, the 1-2 punch. Worthy been leading the way for North Carolina. Again, Jordan with those 10 points is the leading rebounder. 49-48. The Hoyas with the advantage.
They've got the lob to Ewing. Worthy is really working him hard, but Ewing's so much bigger.
Open is Eric Smith. It's the roll. 12 points for Eric Smith. 51-48. Jordan, that was Ewing, just got his hands up.
Hit the side of the backboard.
Ewing, oh, if he'd have made that, that would have been incredible.
Now here you got a 4-on-1 break.
Doherty to Jordan, Spriggs out on him, good coverage defensively, he still hit it. Oh, what presence of mind.
It's amazing what the freshmen can do. A few years ago, freshmen weren't eligible for varsity play, and now they come out here and they're the stars of the game. North Carolina goes back in their 2-1-2 matchup zone.
Jordan, the fourth freshman in Dean Smith's tenure at North Carolina to start from the first game on. And you can see why.
North Carolina players are standing still defensively. There's no pressure on the ball. They're very, very tired. And there's Sleepy Floyd going right through the zone.
9:45 left in the game. Eric Smith on the move. He draws the crowd, and he's fouled. Nice power move inside. These guys, I don't think that hairstyle is going to be popular very soon.
There's James Worthy going out. The North Carolina players losing some resiliency in their leg. Georgetown much pressure by going to that deep bench.
Worthy committed that foul. That is his first personal. Smith at the line. You know what's good about this game, Billy? Thus far, no foul difficulty. Both teams able to really go after each other. Officials doing a good job.
67% free throw shooter.
He has 13 points. John Thompson, the ever-present towel.
John Thompson was a high school coach, had a player by the name of Donald Washington, who he adopted as his own son when his parents passed away, and he was the player that Dean Smith recruited, and that's how they started their friendship.
And, of course, in 76 with the Olympic team.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
And he just made it. And he almost stepped out of bounds. He's fouled instead by Fred Brown.
Big play by Fred Brown. Jimmy Black to be able to have the presence to get that ball over the half-court line because it was very close to 10 seconds.
And that is going to be against Brown, his fourth personal. Worthy will come back in.
Dean Smith trying to save those timeouts.
Gene Smith will come in and replace him. We've got to get Brown out of there with the four personals. And during all that, Worthy and Hancock were kind of pushing, trying to jockey for position.
Right, Worthy was trying to take a position on the court. Hancock came up and tried to prevent him. Hank Nichols talking to him there, say, fellas, let's just take it easy.
Now Gene Smith is in. There he is. He's a defensive standout. They get him in there to kind of pick up the tempo defensively. Replacing Brown at the 9:30 mark of this game. A 3-point lead for Georgetown.
And he comes in there fresh. Now you got Hancock very fresh, and you have Gene Smith fresh.
Look at Ewing out here. Clear out in the backcourt playing defense. There's your time left. Smith now picking up Jimmy Black, and Smith can play the defense. And he gets picked up a foul.
That was a costly foul. Smith and Freddie Brown picking up 2 cheap fouls. Ties things up in the team foul situation. Is that the 6th?
That's the 6th, Billy.
The next one will be 1 and 1.
One more, and they'll be shooting free throws.
Carolina had 5 team fouls. They are very good at not getting into that 1-on-1 situation, and they'll be playing a lot more zone. There's
another one.
Now, you know what caused that? Hancock fighting for position. Remember before when the ball was out of bounds? And I think Hank Nichols saying we're not going to have any of that. And Bovee calls a quick foul.
Now they're in the bonus with 9:11 to go, and 3 fouls in a matter of seconds, and all of them way away from the basket.
Very cheap touch fouls by the guys that came off the bench to put a little defensive pressure on. But Hancock picked up that foul with a little altercation that took play a while ago.
Worthy with 23 points. From the free throw line, he's been hitting almost 90%, and we just jinxed him with that one. But look at the rebound by Jordan. Jordan just has been outstanding on the boards. Doherty, beautiful pass to Worthy. Worthy with 25. A 1-point lead for the Hoyas. 8:50 left in this game.
Trying to shake Jimmy Black loose on the man-to-man. North Carolina going back to the man-to-man now.
Look at the shoving between Perkins and Ewing. Floyd, that was a reach in by Jordan. Jordan is playing superb basketball to Worthy.
Going to be a timeout by Georgetown right now, a timeout.
And he's going to have a foul, though. Doherty commits a foul before the timeout. Matt Doherty has committed a foul.
Now, the key thing here is, was the timeout granted before the foul? And I believe they're going to say it was.
That's That's exactly what they did. John Johnson is arguing.
It's a big call. Now, John's got to be careful here. He's got to be careful. He could get the tee and it would kill him because it's his ball. He's got to be careful here. You don't want a technical foul called on you, a two-shot foul and lose possession of the ball.
So no foul on Doherty. Instead, Georgetown gets the timeout with 8:27 to play.
This is ESPN Classic.
No words are ever exchanged. Just a chemical connection from afar. A click, a zap, then poof. Your destiny passes you by. How many times is she going to slip through your fingers? How many more chances are you going to get? This train is leaving the station, slugger. Are you on board? Or what? Every day's a test. Those who pass deserve a great beer. Sam Adams. It's what's inside.
Lock up your daughters.
Where does she come from?
Stock up the fridge.
Keep your fingers out of my soup.
The comedy that conquered Britain
Acrimonies, man.
is coming to America.
Like one of those James Bond films.
It's an adrenaline blast. Hilarious, wild, hysterically funny, and smoking good fun.
Thank you very much.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Rated R. Now playing in select cities.
The NCAA thanks its corporate partners who dedicate financial resources, talent, and expertise to help emphasize the vital role intercollegiate athletics plays in society and in the overall development of student athletes. The support of higher education by these outstanding corporate citizens also provides funding for NCAA youth programs and NCAA championships. The NCAA and its corporate partners together building a better experience for our student athletes.
I got a new car with the red tail lights, like blue on the corners and it's hung in tight. It's got a ragtime bit, I got the road, you go the inches wrong. Let's go!
The 1999 Mazda Miata. Set it free, and it'll return the favor.
How come you're always raking it in?
Secret to my success is keeping a clean cab and telling people to dial 10-10-220.
What?
Yeah, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents all day, every day.
99 cents. I find more than that in the seats. Well, what if I talk over 20 minutes?
Just 10 cents for each extra minute.
Do you mind if I tell people about this 10-10-220?
Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah.
Rookies.
Dial 10-10-220. Big Fights Boxing Hour gives you access to the largest boxing library in the world. Here's what you can check out in this library. Rare footage of classic fighters, the stories from outside the ring, and volumes of the greatest action in boxing history. Every week, Al Bernstein puts you ringside for classic fights you can't see anywhere else. Ali, Marciano, Leonard, Lewis, plus hard-hitting fighters every boxing fan ought to know. Big Fights Boxing Hour, tomorrow at 10, only on ESPN Classic.
He is 1 of 3. It's still Georgetown with the advantage, 55-54. 7 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this championship game. To Spriggs. Spriggs is fouled. Worthy committing the foul. That's the second on James Worthy. The 16th foul. One more, and they'll be shooting the bonus.
What's so interesting here, you have two really well-coached clubs. They're sticking with their offense, and when you figure things get a little frayed, clubs that are well-taught, as these two teams are, go right back to the basic fundamentals.
Buzz Peterson checking in. Last year, North Carolina lost to Indiana 63-50. Their average margin of loss have been about 12 points. But this one has been a one-point game, back and forth. Spriggs, hitting free throws are not finding the mark.
Spriggs, a 68% free throw shooter, only went to the line 44 times this year.
Spriggs can give them a 2-point advantage. 56-54, the pressure by the Hoyas. They have been taking a lot of time getting this ball up. They've got to hurry, and they find Peterson. Buzz Peterson, nice pass to Worthy. It's off of Georgetown.
That was Smith again, coming from behind. Just no let-up defensively.
And so North Carolina will inbounds at the 7:25 mark. Both these teams have won 30 games this year. Best records. Dean Smith's tenure and the best record in the history of Georgetown. Last time they were in the finals, 1943. They lost to Wyoming.
Georgetown likes to keep that pressure on with the man-to-man. Not a good pass. Not a good pass.
Sprague saved it in. Boy, the agility of him is something to see. Brown almost lost it. Bad pass. That's twice Brown has lost the handle when he's tried to pass the ball.
Exactly right. Jimmy Black pushing off.
That's 10 turnovers against Georgetown. As Peterson will check out, Jordan, 23, checks back into the game.
There's Denny Crum. And he had such a great performance out of his team here on Saturday.
You mentioned the intensity of that game. 1980, he won it all. Here is Black. The chance now on this trip down the floor to tie this ball game up. 6:44 left in it.
One to check out the defense. Oh, Ewing comes down with a cheap slap. Very costly foul.
Now that's his third. Another one, and obviously it would change the complexion defensively what John Thompson wants to do. And he's going to talk to him.
Going to talk to him. Carolina is worthy. Well, you don't get to the Final Four if you're not worthy, and that goes for all the teams that have been here. Outstanding comeback performance by Houston here Saturday also. You're down 14-0. You figure you throw in the towel. Instead, they battled back.
That's 9 points in the game for Perkins. He is now 3 of 5 from the line and a chance to tie it up. Billy, sometimes you get to the championship game and it doesn't work out the way you think it would, but this is something, isn't it?
This is a great one.
56 all. The pressure now by North Carolina.
Here we have the double teams, but with these three guards in the game right now, Smith, Brown, and Sleepy Floyd, they handle that press very well.
This game has been tied 8 times. Fred Brown trying to work into Ewing, broken up nicely by Jordan, but saved by Ewing with a good hand.
See, they're going to give Fred Brown the shot. Therefore, it's tough for him to feed Ewing because Jordan's going to drop back in there.
Brown not known for the outside shooting ability. There's a steal by Worthy.
He'll show some speed here.
And he's fouled. That foul will go on Eric Smith. I can see why Dean Smith says Worthy's the fastest player they've got.
Well, you got to remember this, Gary. He's dribbling the ball. Those guys are running without the ball, and he's beating them down the court. You know, I mean, it's a little different. You're in a foot race, and you're running without the ball. The other guy's got to keep up with the ball. And he's 6'9" and weighs 220.
27 points, a career high for James Worthy, and he's trying to add to that at the 6:04 mark. You know, some people, I'm sure, when they look at All-American lists, they say, how can you pick a guy that's only averaging 15 points a game? But he just fits in where they need him. And here's an example, 28 tonight.
Well, basketball is a team game. He's short again.
Tipped up, almost followed by Jordan, and Doherty's got it. Boy, bounced off of him, no whistle.
Michael Jordan has led both teams in rebounding tonight, and he got in again on another offensive rebound.
57-56, Carolina.
We're seeing a little four corners look right here.
Worthy out to Jordan.
This is a half of a four corners. 5:41 to go. North Carolina sitting on it.
Ewing's got to be careful. He has 3 fouls. Playing Perkins. Black almost lost it. And he's fouled by Ewing, and that's more.
Patrick Ewing has to be careful. And John Thompson calling a great timeout here because Patrick Ewing is so aggressive. He tries to chase against this four corners, and he's going to pick up cheap fouls.
Now, with Ewing in foul difficulty, you think North Carolina will go at him, or will they just continue what they're doing?
No, I think they're going to spread it in what they call their 4C offense. And you got to go back now to 1977, Gary, when North Carolina got the lead on Marquette, and they tried to go ahead and spread it out in the four corners. Marquette stayed back in like a passive zone and let the clock go down a little bit. And by doing that, when North Carolina wasn't able to execute, Marquette finally got control of the game. But we really have a coaching clinic going on right now. John Thompson having to prepare his players for the four corners, Dean Smith outlining exactly what they want to do execution-wise, making sure nobody tries to make the spectacular play.
You saw that sign a while ago to Albuquerque. That's where the NCAA Final Four is going to be next year.
You know, Gary, I love to look at this old newspaper write-up about the last time Georgetown was in the Final Four. And one of the things that was funny on the clipping coming out of New York, the big centers hold the spotlight for the championship game between Georgetown and Wyoming. The centers were 6'6" and 6'5".
That's just a big-sized guard now. And an off forward. Dean Smith now in a pretty good situation. A 1-point lead, 4 fouls on Pat Ewing. And the way they can set on the ball, he's started to maybe have that momentum switch just a little bit in his favor. Black at the line, 2 points. He has 6 assists in this game. You might recall in that Villanova game in the East Region Final, he had 10 assists. He's second only to Phil Ford, all-time North Carolina assist list. He had over 500 assists in his career, and now important free throws coming up.
73% free throw shooter.
1-1. It's back to a 2-point lead.
First time I've seen Pat Ewing look up at the clock. He normally concentrates totally on the game. You think he's thinking a little bit?
A 3-point advantage now. Still 5.5 minutes to go.
Here's the double team by Black.
Good effort there by Brown. Kept his poise. Off to Floyd. Out to Eric Smith. Jordan dropping back. You said that earlier. They'll let him shoot the ball.
Straight man-to-man.
Into Ewing. And we're going to have a foul on Worthy. He's over the back. Over the back of Brown, and that's 3 on James Worthy.
That was a big play by Freddie Brown, who hasn't been shooting that much. We'll see the play inside. Ewing comes up a little short on this jumper. Nice technique, good follow-through. There's Brown, a big fella, an excellent call by the officials. And in addition to a super championship game, we'd have to say this is one of the best officiated games of this caliber I've seen in a long time.
Now they're shooting free throws, 17 fouls, 2 points for Brown, who's not a very good free throw shooter. During the regular year, he shot 63%. It doesn't matter now.
Really doesn't. He's a gutty ball player.
And now he can cut it to 1 point.
Well, he gave him the MVP award for Saturday's play. What did he have? 6 points? 4 points.
59-58. Georgetown is 8 of 9 from the free throw line. They haven't been there that often, but when they have been, they have taken advantage of it. And North Carolina's 13-19.
Here comes the spread. Perkins and Ewing.
The Doherty, Ewing and Perkins still pushing around. Remember now, Ewing playing with 4 personals. 4 minutes, 45 seconds left in the game. A 1-point lead for Carolina.
North Carolina looking for a backdoor layup here. This is not a complete stall. They are offensively looking for the backdoor layup.
Crowd starting now to get into this one. Last and the only time North Carolina won it all was in 1957. There's a steal by Floyd. Stepped out of bounds.
Now watching this offense right now, the guy that seems to be a little shaky is Michael Jordan, because he's catching the ball, putting it on the ground, and losing his dribble, then picking it up, and everybody's overplaying.
Ewing this year is fouled out of 5 games, only 1 time in tournament play. That was against Oregon State.
They have Ewing matched up on Worthy now. See if North Carolina tries to take advantage of it.
4 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Black. Boy, this is something that Carolina has had as a trademark for so long. The tension mounting as we approach, and exactly 4 minutes now left in the game.
People say that they don't like the stall, but if you tell me there's not tension created by this.
The stall started at the 5:11 mark, and you see the time remaining.
And another thing this does for North Carolina, it gives them a chance to rest a little bit, as they were getting very tired. Jimmy Black tries the backdoor cuts, not there.
It'll be North Carolina's ball. Gene Smith will come in. That gives John Thompson an opportunity to get an outstanding defensive player in. Brown will come out of the ball game. Brown still may have a little trouble with that thigh, that leg that's wrapped heavily. So now Smith is in. 3:35 left.
If Both teams in the 1-1. Both coaches have conserved their timeouts very well.
Remember this, the next held ball would go to Georgetown as Jordan on the what a layup! He put that ball up about 12 feet. Left hand. He has 14 points, 10 of them in the second half of play. 61-58. That was just amazing. An offhand, a left-hand shot.
They've got to concentrate now on Sleepy Floyd.
Georgetown can't take an awful lot of time. 3 minutes now left in the game, down by 3.
John Thompson looking to go ahead and maybe get a timeout. He's trying to tell his club what to do without the timeout. North Carolina in the matchup zone.
Georgetown has only one timeout left, Billy.
That's why he didn't want to use it. He's trying to instruct his club without it. Floyd's going to get ready for a jumper.
Out to Gene Smith. They don't want him shooting. He's not that good a shooter from outside. Ewing's going to try it. He it's a one-point ball game with 2.5 minutes to go. 23 points for Pat Ewing. 2:30. Ewing with 23, his career high. Out it comes to Black. Worthy picked up by Spriggs. Now he posted on the time, 2:15.
Georgetown can get themselves a little tired right here because they're doing all the work right now.
Doherty, both teams in the bonus. So the fouls would send them to the line. The held ball would go to Georgetown. Less than 2 minutes to go. 1:56.
That's a dangerous pass, that lazy pass going cross court. Here's Ewing, he can't afford to reach.
You saw Gene Smith try to sneak in from behind. 1:40. Now it's on your screen.
Now North Carolina wanting to change their offense.
Here's Jordan, who made that remarkable drive a while ago. He has 9 rebounds to go with his 14 points tonight.
Eric Smith hurt his leg on that play. He's really limping.
He's giving chase to Doherty, and he almost pulled it off. He commits the foul, and you can see he is limping. That's 4 on Eric Smith.
Some reach. He's quite an athlete. Start talking about basketball players that would have some potential in the defensive backfield in football. He's one of them.
He's shaking it off. John Thompson looked him over to see if he wanted to stay in the ball game, and he seems to be all right.
See John Thompson talking to his club now. He does not want to use that timeout. Dean Smith has quite a few left.
Now in this ball game, Doherty has hit 2 of 2 from the line with 4 points. The only guy that hasn't shot perfectly from the line in the starting 5 is Worthy. He's 2 of 5. This is in the second half I'm talking about. And at the line, Matt Doherty. He hit some big free throws you might remember in tournament play in the East region. Now it's a big 1-and-1.
Wow, that wasn't even close.
And now Georgetown can take the lead. 1:16 left. That's 10 rebounds for Pat Ewing. Eric Smith off to Pat Ewing.
Hancock was wide open under the basket. Nobody saw him. I figure Sleepy Floyd's going to go for the jumper.
Is he ever? Fake beautifully once, twice, gets a roll, and the Hoyas lead by 1. What a play by Sleepy Floyd.
52 seconds.
18 points in the game for the All-American. And as we suspected, it's going right down to the wire.
And Georgetown's going to go into the zone. They are not going to come out and chase. And North Carolina now cannot go to the 4 corners.
With that odd point, we're going for a game-winning or a losing shot, and Dean Smith asks and gets timeout. That was the 15th lead change we've had in this ball game on that remarkable suspension in midair by Sleepy Floyd. We'll be back. You see the time remaining, 32 seconds to win the championship.
Rent a car for my trip?
Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
You can use a beauty bar that has 1/4 moisturizing cream and won't dry your face like soap. But the fact is there's another bar you can trust. This bar contains moisturizers from the brand whose products more dermatologists recommend and more women trust for beautiful skin. Tests prove more women prefer this bar overall to that other bar for facial cleansing. So give it your own test. Chances are you'll prefer it too. And the name? Oil of Olay Skincare Bar. Proven preferred overall for facial cleansing.
What sets some people apart? Gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-443-1900. That's 800-443-1900 for the Wall Street Journal.
Who got their real hair back at Bosley Medical? Mike? Carl? Or maybe Drew? Well, they all did. These are real people who are looking for real results.
I wanted something natural, real hair, and that's what I've got. It's simple. They take care from where you have it, and they put it where you need it.
I wash it, I get a cut. It's my own real hair growing on top of my head.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. So take control of your hair loss. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair. You can't do better than real.
Hi, I'm old school pitcher Bob Gibson.
2 strikes for the ball. Once again, a standing ovation. A new World Series record.
This is ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
Georgetown has the lead, and I just cannot believe this play that Sleepy Floyd made.
Well, you knew he was going to take it. He's a money player. A double fake. Had a guy in front, a guy behind, and Georgetown getting some nice bounces now. Ewings did the same thing right before that. What it does, Gary, it changes the offensive philosophy completely for North Carolina. They, with the lead, could force Georgetown to be man-to-man. Now Georgetown back in the zone. Most coaches, though, with a timeout, go ahead and change their defense just to throw the other team off stride. Let's see if Georgetown now comes out man-to-man.
Georgetown still has 1 timeout left. North Carolina has 4. 32 seconds to go. A 1-point lead for Georgetown.
Well, they stay in the 1-3-1 with Ewing in the middle. They've got to look to get it in there. You can't with a shot blocker like Ewing take so much time.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot. Jordan, Michael Jordan,
14 seconds.
Ground.
Look for Sleepy Floyd.
Oh, he threw it to the wrong man. He threw it to Worthy.
It's over. It's over.
He's fouled by Eric Smith. Fred Brown somehow or another threw the ball into the hands of James Worthy.
Look at Dean Smith, totally in control. Everybody going crazy. See if he doesn't call a timeout to settle things down.
The emotion. Jordan is down. He is down and now getting up. There's Black. That's Black. He can't believe it. He's been on 3 straight ACC championship teams, but never won at all. But I tell you, the guy you got to feel bad for is Fred Brown. It's like he looked back. I don't know why or what happened. Let's look at it.
Here it is right here. You know what might have flashed in front of him right there? He saw the blue and the white go by and just lost concentration. That was a smart foul right there. We've got 2 seconds to go.
Look at this. The emotion of NCAA basketball.
Now, Worthy just has to get that ball up there. If he hits the rim, he's in good shape, even if he misses the shot, because Georgetown in bad shape foul-wise.
They have 1 timeout left.
Eric Smith is fouled out of the ball game.
And after all of that, he did. As he tried to come back and double up and come up with the ball.
Dean Smith looked at James Worthy and said, make these.
What else? Smith leaves the game with 14 points, 3 rebounds. Now, Worthy is the man that I guess should be resting on his shoulders. He's had 28 points tonight, but he's hit only 2 of 5 from the free throw line.
It's a very, very big shot.
Now they're going to call timeout. Is Georgetown calling that?
No, I can't believe John Thompson would have called that. I believe Dean Smith did, just to reorganize the whole situation. He called his fifth. Very surprising, unless John wants to just give him a talk-to about the future, because now he can't do anything other than throw the long pass if the shot is missed.
Well, he's run out of timeout.
That's right. That's his fifth.
And so even if they get the rebound on this, 2 seconds, there's nothing left you can do.
That's right. Very interestingly, in the rule changes in basketball, and thinking ahead into next year, although this game certainly is not over, one change we're going to see, the jump ball situation. If the defense creates the jump ball, the ball will turn over to the defense and disregard the pointing of the arrow, which I think most coaches have asked for. The clock, we won't see that at all. And what we may also see, there's been some talk, if a game goes into overtime and a player is fouled out, he gets an opportunity to come back with one more foul.
Well, for so many years, they said about Dean Smith, he couldn't win the big one. He's 2 seconds away from winning the big one now. The 7th time he's been to the Final Four, the 4th time in the championship game. And let's watch. We'll just watch and see what develops.
They call it a two-shot intentional, evidently.
No one moved anyway.
Right.
That's what it
They
was.
called it a two-shot intentional. We never did get that signal.
Now there's where they could have used the timeout. And Georgetown loses it. North Carolina has won the 1982 NCAA championship. Talking to Fred Brown, you know how he must feel. He's the man that mistook James Worthy for one of his own teammates as they came down the floor and threw it into the grasp of Worthy. And North Carolina has won the 2nd national championship in the history of their school. And look at the ejection on the face of Matt Ewing and Eric Smith. Ewing just played an outstanding basketball game. 23 points. It certainly does say it all. Georgetown having their 10-game winning streak snapped. They will finish 30-7. James Worthy, when they cut the nets down in Raleigh in the East region, gave the net away. He said, I wanted the net at the Final Four. Well, they're going to have the net here at the Final Four of the championship game. So that long, dry spell for Dean Smith has got to a close. We can't say enough for this gentleman. What an outstanding human being he is. John Thompson, and there's Worthy, the guy who wanted the net. Well, he had to wait an extra week for it, but he got it.
Jordan just sails down the free throw line.
This is ESPN Classic.
Gather around and observe the age-old problem of people working the same old way.
He's running a marathon between the printer and the copier.
Another fact she can't read.
Sharing knowledge should be easier.
What can we do?
Go, tell them about the Xerox Document Center family and the free video.
Document centers are network digital copy of printers. Just point and click. And right from your desk, you can
print, fax, copy, even collate.
Only one trip down the hall.
It's all in the video.
Document centers are upgradable, so you can add features.
I know.
You can easily scan a document, store it, or change it on your computer. And send it
anywhere in the world using your network.
Or through the internet.
How did you know that?
I watched the video.
Smart people. Curious clothing.
For information about Xerox document centers and your free video, call now 1-800-290-4570.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you've got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
It's March, and that means Classic Madness. 31 days of college hoops that will put you over the edge. All month long, it's classic tournament games that will make you go psycho. Shots that are insane. And games that are positively upsetting. Don't you on Classic Madness? Watch the greatest tournament games in history. All month long on ESPN Classic. Old school.
CBS Sportsline is the place to go to follow all the updated sports action. For all the latest scores, statistics, and more, log on to cbs.sportsline.com.
63-62, it was a night for greatness here in New Orleans. And when it ended, their coach of North Carolina, Dean Smith, went over and hugged the man he'd just beaten for the national championship. Dean, what are your thoughts now? You've finally taken a monkey off your back. I know we made more of it than you did, but what's going through your mind?
I am very grateful to our players. I thought we played probably the best team we've faced all year, maybe Virginia and Georgetown. I thought we played very well. I thought they did. It was a great national chip game. I feel very fortunate. I think we were lucky. They could have made that. We didn't have to make that last shot, but we're very happy for our seniors, and the other guys have another chance.
Dean, I am surprised with about 5 to go. You had the 1-point lead. You say, let's slow it down. Was that a gamble on your part at that time?
Not at all. We know we're going to get a foul shot or a layup, and we're not going to make all of our foul shots. We're not going to make all of our layups. But they hit 2 great shots, Ewing and Floyd's, to come back, so I'm very grateful.
What about Pat Ewing?
I thought he was sensational tonight. I thought it was the best I've seen him play, and John just did a great job. I never saw a team more aggressive.
All right, Dean, congratulations. He's going back out now to be with his players. And you see the Georgetown bench over there. Let's go to Gary Bender and Billy Packer.
All right, Brent, we have the starting 5 with us. Billy, you start with this guy over here, James Worthy, at 28 points.
James, tremendous show. The young rookie came through there, hit that big jumper for you. You went up to the line. That was quite an opponent, though, you were up against tonight.
This was the toughest team we played all year. I thought James Madison gave us a tough time with their discipline team, but Georgetown just a tremendous defensive team, and they gave us problems. They really did.
You were the leading rebounder there, Rook, and not a bad jump shot. Was that a set play where you go into the rookie?
Yes, sir, it was a set play. He was going to throw over to Jimmy and throw it back to me, and had the zone switch. And I had the open shot. He said, take it.
Go ahead, Gary.
Jimmy Black, I think this is your 104th win since being in North Carolina, but this is the best of them all.
Oh, yeah. I can't even express how I feel right now. I'm just so happy. I wanted so bad for Coach, and I'd just like to say hello to my family and my father and my grandmother who's watching the game now.
Jimmy, you said all year, though, coming down the stretch, you wanted to win it for Dean Smith. Added incentive, and you've done it.
Oh, yeah, he's the man. He hasn't received the championship since he's been coaching, and that's something that we wanted to get for him, and today we went out and got it for him.
Sam Perkins, you and Matt Ewing had a battle in there.
Yeah, he's a kind of tough ball player. He's young and he's pretty good. I thought a lot of him. I respect him very much, and I just had to contain him for most of the game.
Congratulations. James Worthy said he wanted the net here. He didn't want the one in Raleigh, and he got it. Nice going on, you guys, in that Super Bowl game. All right, let's go back down to Brett Musburger.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. The North Carolina Tar Heels have won the NCAA championship in a great game over Georgetown by a point. They have come on the road to New Orleans, and they leave with the national championship. So long, everybody.
Not a bad way to end a rookie season. By the way, Michael Jordan said he has watched this game dozens of times and confesses that he closed his eyes after releasing the shot, the only time in his career that he's ever done that. He did, however, close his eyes to take some free throws once in a game that I saw. Anyway, he also says he still gets nervous watching the ending. Patrick Ewing and the Hoyas went to the NCAA finals for the record 3 times in 4 years. That was their most bitter memory of the experience. Ewing's only championship came 2 years later, in 1984, when the Hoyas beat the Houston Cougars. Classic Sports returns in a moment.